good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ham Radio Basics Live, Season 3, Episode 18, Ham Radio News and Updates, 5/7/2025. Hope everyone is doing well this afternoon. Cooley, welcome. Good to see you this afternoon. Thank you for stopping by. Quick update. Valerie's doing much better. And thank you guys for all your thoughts and prayers and concerns. Really appreciate that. I think we've kind of got a handle on things, and I think, we're moving forward with it. She's doing real well, driving everything. So we're real kind of positive on that. With me, I have an update on me. A week from Friday on May the 16th, I'm going in for major dental surgery. I'm going to have implants put in top and bottom. And the show that will be on the 21st, I believe. Today's what? Today's the 7th. Yeah. The show on the 21st is going to be a pre-recorded show, just to let you guys know. What I'm probably going to do is replay one of the better episodes that I've had, maybe when I've had Jason or Josh or maybe Mike KMRD or one of those kind of episodes. I think we're going to go ahead and rebroadcast that so you guys can go ahead and have something to watch that week. So I'm going to be out of commission. I'm taking, obviously I got to take Friday off. I'm taking Monday off as well too. And I'm hopeful by Tuesday next week, I work from home. I'm hopeful I can be able to do that. I'm super prepared for it already. I'm going to be, on a soft foods diet for 3 to 4 months. So it's going to be real interesting. Looking forward to losing some weight. That'll be good. But I'm stocked up on things like ice cream and applesauce and mashed potatoes and gravy and rice and oatmeal. I pre-made some soup. Got some Jello I'm gonna have. So yeah, it's a wide variety of things. I mean, I'm gonna enjoy what I can and what I'm able to. I'm gonna be in temporaries for 3 to 4 months, and then after that, I'll get my permanents. And really found a good oral surgeon, dentist, fantastic guy, much better rate than other places. Reason is one. I think the big reason is he has an in-house lab that makes all of their all the not the implants. The implants are the metal, posts that go in your mouth. Make the all-in-ones right there with their printer. So really looking forward to being able to smile again and eventually being able to really enjoy food again. But that's going to be about 3 to 4 months down the road while I have my temps in. But really appreciate your thoughts and prayers for the 16th because I'm a little apprehensive. I've had oral surgery before, but nothing like this. This is going to be pretty significant. So today we're going to spend most, if not all, the time on, as you are well aware, the Yaesu FT-150Rasp is now available, quote unquote. And Yaesu came up with a surprise, and we're just going to kind of dive right into this here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at it from several aspects. I have the we're going to take a look on Yaesu's website. We're also going to take a brief peek. The owner's manual is available on Yaesu's website, which is nice. We're going to take a look at accessories. We're also going to take a look. 2 of the 3 big ham radio places to buy ham radios from already have it out there advertised for sale, and there's firm pricing on. The pricing is the same on both of them. One of them just still has a pre-order kind of a thing on it. And then I did some ChatGPT kind of comparing things, and I think you'll find some of that interesting. So we're just going to kind of dive right into things right here. Chris, welcome. Good afternoon. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, welcome to Yaesu.com. And here's the FT-1X Field and the FT-1X Optima. And we're going to get into the differences here in a minute. Now, one of the things, and we're going to kind of jump around a little bit here. So, excuse me, while I do this. So, and it's one thing I wish StreamYard would get a little better with all this, but we'll kind of go from there. So, this is interesting. I'm going to put this up. This is the owner's manual, and it's out on Yaesu's website, which is very interesting. Now, the manual itself, because it really is basically, it's a series of radios. It's really kind of two. I don't want to. Yeah, term, for lack of a better term, I'll say they are two different radios, but not really. So we'll kind of get into that. But it's nice that this is out there and available for you to look at. That's ahead of time, so you can kind of get a gist of things. Giving you some pointers and tips and things on here. So that's a really good thing here. All right. Let's go ahead here. Now we're going to jump out to. Now there's two places to purchase it right now. One of them is Gigaparts. We're going to go out there first and take a look at what Gigaparts has out there. So let's do that. Okay. Now the Yaesu FT-1X field radio, okay, is $1,499.95. I'm going to go ahead and and I'm sure you guys have seen these before. And of course, there's this is all a self-contained unit. It does have battery with it. 6 watts with a supplied battery, 10 watts with external DC power supply for field operation. So I know some people are a little confused. 6 watts, well, that's the max you can do with their internal battery, which is actually pretty nice. It's better than 5 watts, and 10 watts with an external DC source. So now here, it's equipped with a 3D-SS three-dimensional spectrum system that's standard on a lot of Yaesu radios. High resolution 4.3-inch TFT color touch panel display. The 3D-SS real-time spectrum scope presents the constantly changing band conditions in 3 dimensions. The signal strength flows in time to the rear of the screen, and an operator can intuitively view the constant changes in signal strength. Frequency can also be instantly changed on the scope screen by touching the peak of the desired signal. Okay, 3 display modes are switchable according to the user's preference in usage. Dual band display right to left, dual band display up and down, single band display. And again, this is similar to other radios that Yaesu make. Excuse me, sorry about that. I'm trying to stop that so you don't have to hear me coughing. I'm muting the button here. Okay, let's go on to the next screen here. Various functions support comfortable operation, true dual band operation, including C4 FM, C4 FM simultaneous receive. Super DX expands the communication range, memory channel scope, function dial useful to change and recall settings, preset mode suitable for FT8 operation, compatible with Wires X APRS data communication. And there's a little asterisk, Wires X will be available from August of 2025. QRP mode to set output power to 5 watts and below. Obviously, that's 6. VFO mode indicator presents a current operation status at a glance. Micro SD card slot. Versatile array of functions for CW operation. C4 FM digital technologies, outstanding audio quality, AMS, etc. Convenient functions for FM mode. Now, no future without the past. Dawning of a new era for wide coverage transceivers with epic-making features from the pioneer of single sideband radios for over 70 years. Okay, there's some Yaesu speak right there. HF, VHF, UHF, MAG memory auto grouping. Memory channels are automatically grouped and can be easily recalled by band groups, HF, VHF, UHF, and others. HF, VHF, UHF, QMB, quick memory band, frequency mode, and all settings and parameters of the current receiving signal can be quickly stored and recalled. VHF, UHF, PMG, primary memory group. Primary memory group channels can always be scanned and heard, which is useful when watching the channels club members use to communicate. VHF, UHF. AMS, automatic mode select. AMS automatically determines whether the receiving signal is C4 FM, digital, or FM, and sets the receiver to the appropriate mode. And you can see right here on how to activate QMBs, a quick memory bank, PMG, MAG memory, auto grouping, and AMS. Now, and I'm going to kind of stop right here. A lot. These are fantastic functions. Yeah, Chris, you're right. You're kind of right. I agree with you on that. One of the things I can say with this right away, these are great features and these are great to have and they're very useful. However, again, these are probably menu settings, and Yaesu loves their menus. That's all I'm going to say about that. So let's go ahead and look at the last screen here. The Yaesu RF front end with superb interference rejection. While the FTX1 is compact, it boasts excellent proximity to signal characteristics thanks to a power RF front end design with 10 divided BPF bandpass filter and amateur bands from HF through UHF and RF amplifier with a low noise figure, which is excellent in intermodulation characteristics. In addition, a high purity 110.592 megahertz oscillator circuit configuration supplies a high quality sampling clock signal with excellent CN characteristics to the AD converter. That's a mouthful, guys. That is just an absolute mouthful. Basically, it's good at separating signals out, and it really is good at cutting down on interference. That's your takeaway from something like that. I know it can be kind of daunting for even very experienced ham radio operators and ham radio operators that have been around for a while. I would say unless you major in electrical engineering or have been around ham radio for maybe 30 or 40 years, you're not going to understand that statement in its entirety. But just like I said, the takeaway from that is that it's really going to cut down on interference. I think that's something that's really good. Andy, welcome. Thanks for stopping by today. That's a very good thing. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and take a look at, go ahead and share the next screen here. Okay. This is the Optima, and you can see the Optima is $1,899.95. There's a $400 difference between the two. Okay. And let's go ahead. We'll kind of blow that up right here. Okay. Now the difference is, this is the field unit right up front here. This is a 100-watt base unit right here, and you attach. This is a head, and you basically attach it to the head right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. FTX1 Optima, 10-watt field operation and 100-watt base station. Expanding the fun with a 100-watt RF power amplifier for base station, in addition to field operations. Included items: field head, lithium-ion battery, RF power amplifier, SSM 75E hand microphone. Okay, so basically, you have your field unit right here, and it attaches right here onto the 100-watt amplifier, which is really kind of awesome here. Now, this is basically the same type of information that you saw when I was going over the field model as well too. Everything's the same, absolutely, as far as the characteristics are concerned. The only difference is you get the 100-watt amplifier with this, and there's a $400 price difference for that. And if this is just my recommendation, if you're going to do something like this, I would definitely go ahead and get it with that 100-watt amplifier. I mean, it just makes sense. It makes perfect sense to do something like that, because this is something that's going to be extremely versatile, and I think it's going to be something that I think a lot of people are going to find very useful. So let's go ahead and I'm going to let's see, what else do I want to share here? Okay, we're going to go out to Ham Radio Outlet right now. I want to show you what they have out there. Okay. This is the FTX1 field. All right. And, they're showing out of stock, delivery will be delayed. Basically, you would pay for it, and, the next one that would come in that's not spoken for would be yours right here. Current stock status at these ham radio outlets, they show they're not involved. And again, all the specs that are listed right here. And now this does show accessories. Now we're going to get to Yaesu's page that shows the accessories that Yaesu has on it, and I want to spend some time on that as well. Again, it's the same thing. The price is the same, $1,499.95, same as at Gigaparts. Okay, but again, these are, from what I've heard, and from what I've heard from several other ham radio YouTubers out there, what they're saying is they're expecting this in like any day. So these are you would probably get them, I imagine, within the next 2 weeks or so. So chances are real good it would be probably around the time Hamvention would be the time that these would show up on your doorstep. Now we're going to take I want to take a look at the other one here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, FTX1 Optima, and again, it's the same type of thing, $1899.95. It's the same pricing structure as with Gigaparts. So, and again, it's going to show you, accessories available. And it's the same set of accessories that are available as well too. And again, this is on ham radio outlet. Now, one of the things that I found very interesting here was, I went out there and I expected to see, I saw this out on Gigaparts. I saw this out on ham radio outlet. And I'm like, okay, DX Engineering should be the same. Well, let me show you what DX Engineering has out there. Okay. They're still just showing a reservation, and they're still just showing for an FTX1F. I did do a search out there. I did look out there, and this is what they have for right now. I imagine their stock's going to be coming in as well. Again, they're still taking reservations for this. So if you're interested in purchasing this through DX Engineering, put in your reservation, pay your $35, and get in line for that. But I just really kind of found it a little different here. Andy, I don't think it has an auto. I think you have to purchase the auto. Yeah, the auto tuner. Yeah, and you can purchase that separate. And you know what? This is a good segue into going into talking about the accessories. Now, let's go ahead. I'm going to bring that up here. Now, Yaesu's website. I love Yaesu radios. Their website needs some work. Okay. Yaesu, if you're hearing me, and John Kruk, if you're hearing me, pass on to the powers that be. Be really nice if you guys maybe do some revamping of your website. It's really, it needs some TLC. All right, let's go ahead, and I'm going to show to you the official accessories that are listed out on Yaesu's website. Okay, an ATAS 25. The ATAS 25 is a manually tuned portable antenna, and it's good for the FT-817, 897, and 857 here. All right. Now they also an ATBK 100 balcony mount counterpoise kit. FC40 antenna tuner, automatic antenna tuner for long wire antenna. FC80, HF 50 megahertz 10 watt automatic antenna tuner. FC90, automatic antenna tuner for long wire 50 ohm antenna. GPS 5, a GPS antenna unit. Again, this doesn't have built-in GPS. Batteries, SBR 52Li. It's a 6400 milliamp lithium-ion battery pack supplied with the radio package. So it does come with one when you do get that. Now, it does not natively come with Bluetooth. So there is a Bluetooth unit, BU6, that's right here. There's also a Bluetooth headset, an SSM BT20, headphones, a YH775TA lightweight stereo headset for use with HF transceivers. Microphones, it's an M1 right here, and I'll let you read that at your leisure. An M100 right here, an M70D, an M90D, an M90MS microphone stand kit. This is an SSM75E. It's a hand microphone. It's probably what comes with the unit itself. Miscellaneous MHG1 FT-450 side carry handle, and I'm sure it's going to work on this. SCF1 is cooling fan, especially for FT8 operation. They advise that you buy that. Power supplies FP1023. It's a 23 amp. FP 1030A 30 amp right here. SPA1 GPS antenna unit supplied with FTX1 Optima. So that does come. The GPS antenna unit is built in there with the Optima. So yeah, Jeff, it is, and I had it up a little earlier. I did put that up there, but just like I said, it'd be really nice if Yaesu would update their webpage. That's just some thoughts regarding that. Okay, what I want to do now is I went out and I kind of got a little creative, so to speak, with ChatGPT, and I wanted to show you. First of all, I did a comparison between the Field and the Optima, so we're going to go over that. So let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. Okay. Power output and portability. The Field, it's a QRP portable transceiver offering 6 watts output with a 5670 milliamp lithium-ion battery. That's wrong. And up to 10 watts when connected to an external 13.8 volt DC supply, which is true. It's designed for field operations, providing approximately 9 hours of operation on HF SSB and 8 hours on VHF UHF. So that's fairly accurate right there. Yaesu FTX1 Optima. In contrast, the Optima is a high-power transceiver capable of delivering up to 100 watts output. That makes it suitable for base station setups or mobile operations where higher power is advantageous. So basically, in a nutshell, that's the big difference between them. But when you get the Optima, you do get a few extra little goodies like that GPS option there. Frequency coverage and modes, again, it's going to be the same for both units as far as that's concerned. Technology and features, SDR technology, 3DSS, the dual independent receivers. We talked about a lot of this. Dual speakers, 32-bit IFDSP, Wires X compatibility. That won't be until August of 2025. USB ports facilitate CAT operations, audio input, output, and TX control. Intended use and design philosophy, obviously, tailored, the FTX1 Field, tailored for field operations, emphasizing compactness, battery efficiency, and ease of transport. Optima, geared toward users requiring higher power output and broader reception capabilities, make it suitable for base station or mobile setups where power availability is less constrained. Okay, and their prices are way off right here because we saw it's $14.99 for the Field and it's $18.99 for the Optima. Okay, and they list a summary table here, which really it's just basically it's basically the same. And the big difference right here is, again, the F1 is the Field is for obviously for out in the field, and the Optima is obviously for base station use at home. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. I did another comparison that I wanted to share with you guys right here, and let me bring it up. Okay, I did one called Pros and Cons, and I wanted to see what it came up with. And actually, it's ChatGPT is something that learns from the questions that you ask it, and I think it does get better. And I'm pretty impressed with this because it actually did list what I would consider the pros and the cons right here. So let's go ahead and go over that. Pros: advanced SDR technology, dual independent receivers, comprehensive mode support, high resolution touch display, robust audio output, Optional accessories, as we went through, extended battery life and USB connectivity. Cons: limited power output. Again, they're basing that on the field, which is true. Optional cooling fan for FT8. FT8 operation requires optional cooling fan, adding to the overall cost and complexity. Display visibility issues. The software synthesized metering on display can be difficult to read in bright sunlight. Battery life concerns. Running SDR in color screen may lead to faster battery drain, and the battery life may not be significantly better than its predecessors. That's why, especially if you go out and use the field, you don't want to be, the way I do it when I run my IC705. I'm almost never using that internal battery. I'm almost always using my a LifePo battery hooked up to it. So that's kind of what. Alan, welcome. Thank you for stopping by this afternoon. And complex menu navigation, adjusting settings like power and compression levels requiring navigating through menus, which can be cumbersome. Summary: the Yaesu FT-3185Rasp is a feature-rich, portable SDR transceiver suitable for a variety of amateur radio applications. Its advanced capabilities make it an attractive option for experienced operators, especially those engaged in portable operations like parks on the air or summits on the air. However, potential buyers should consider the additional cost of optional accessories and the learning curve associated with its advanced features. If you're interested in exploring similar transceivers or need assistance comparing models, feel free to ask. And of course, that's ChatGPT. They actually do a pretty good job with that. So, just wanted to share some of my own thoughts here. I'm really high and I'm really extremely excited about this. But one of the things that I like to do in an instance like this, and I'll kind of compare this a little bit for me to when a new drone comes out. Now, a new drone's coming out next week for my drone channel, so we're going to having a release show and all that kind of good stuff. So we're going to have some fun with all that. But and when they come out, I almost always will get that, because that's what my channel is geared towards. In with drones, and it's the learning curve. They're basically, there's really kind of no learning curve. They're basically the basic operation is the same for all the drones. It's the different features and accessories that they add to the new drones that are different. In this instance here with ham radios, this is something I want to sit back and I want to take a look at some of the first adopters and see their experience with this. All right. I think this is going to be a very useful radio. Again, it does have, the GPS, the Bluetooth, and no Wi-Fi. Okay. From everything that I've seen. So, those are some concerns and some cons about this, but I want to see how other people use it. I want to see how people use it in the field. I want to see how people use it at home. I want to see the mix of experience. I want to see how the menu system works. I have an IC705, and it has what I consider a very basic and simple menu system to get to where you need to go. Yaesu's added a lot of features onto this radio, which is fantastic, but navigating that menu system is going to be a challenge. And what I want to do is I want to sit back for at least 2 or 3 months and take a look and see, some of the pros, some of the cons of this, and also some how-to videos on this, and see how easy it is to navigate the menu system on this. It's a great radio. It's a great concept. I did watch a clip of Jason from Ham Radio 2.0 had John Kruk on, and he was kind of alluding to that. Jason kind of even asked him about, exactly what this is, having that QRP module and having it like a head and being able to attach it to an amp and having a base station. And John was kind of laughing during that video. I don't know if you guys have seen that or not, but all in all, this is going to be a revolutionary radio. I think it's going to be great. Again, I want to sit back, take a look, see how it works, see how it would fit in for me. That would be an excellent radio for me, because I would have the option of having it here set up as a base station, and I would also have the option of being able to do portable use with it, POTA, SOTA, anything along those lines. So a lot of food for thought on that. I think the pricing is very reasonable. I think where Yaesu is going to be making some money is going to be there on their accessories. And I'm sure there's going to be some aftermarket accessories as well, too. Some cages and things like that, especially if you take it out, the field out by itself. So we'll see, how this goes. I'm real interested. I know a lot of people are going to buy it sight unseen and no reviews out there and just dive right into it. And those, I'm going to be interested. I'm going to be interested in watching. That's a good question, Chris. I didn't see. I'm sure it's probably in the owner's manual, but I didn't see any exact the dimensions as far as that's concerned. The head's not that big. I mean, they displayed it at the Tokyo Ham Fair last August. They just had the head. They didn't have the base unit with that. So, and it probably the head even looked, I think, maybe even a little bit smaller or comparable to size of the 705. I think it may be a little bit smaller than the 705, which is very interesting to get all that in there. But again, they did bring up some cons, the GPS, the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi. Also, there's no built-in tuner with this as well. With, the 705 doesn't have one. But again, the argument's always made for that is the argument is always made for that. Yeah. That's a good point, Jeff. Thanks for bringing that up. That is a good point. I don't know. I'm hopeful, that maybe Yaesu will try to keep it simple for us. In our, in the age range that we are in, simple is always better. Straightforward is always better, but, teach an old dog new tricks. And, I'm more than willing to take some time to learn this radio and to use it, because again, I think this is going to be a real winner for Yaesu. I just want to sit back and take a look and see. And I wish I was going to Hamvention this year. Obviously, I'm having my surgery a week before Hamvention, or right at the time of Hamvention. So that's completely out for this year. Probably not going to go anything until Hamcation next year. And I think we'll probably end up going to Hamvention next year as well, too. Or next year instead of this year. So it's always good if we plan a trip to Ohio so we get both here. But all in all, this is a radio I think will garner a lot of interest. I'm personally going to sit back, take a look, see how things shake out, see how some of the reviewers are. So I know Josh will probably get a unit. Jason will probably get a unit. Some of the other guys will buy this and take some deep dives into this. And that's what I'm interested in. I'm interested to see how the field works in the field. I'm interested to see how the Optima works as a base unit. How the tuner works, how Bluetooth works with it, how GPS works with it, and the whole 9 yards. And just some basic operation to get on HF and make some contacts, or UHF, VHF, how that works, all that kind of good stuff. So it's going to be interesting. I'm really excited about this. And I wanted to spend this whole show to talk about this because I know it's something I know a lot of you have been interested in. You're probably right, Jeff. Okay. Yeah. You're probably right. So, and I'm going to kind of close with this. A lot of people are saying, well, we need to update the FT-891. Well, maybe this is the 891 update. I'm just kidding. Going to need something obviously bigger than that. But, all in all, I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a great radio. Stay tuned. I'm going to be doing more reviews on it. Hopefully what I want to do is get some of the early adopters on the channel for a live stream and talk to them and see how their experience is with it once they get it up and running and have had some use out of it. Want to see again, how it works in the field, how it works at home, kind of a thing. So stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more on that. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. As always, guys, it's a great day to make a QSO. 7 3s to all of you. Thank you all for stopping by this afternoon. Have a great rest of your evening.